Well, it's Tuesday, so it must be a day to check out McLaren's at McLaren Vancouver. FAF Leasing here. There's the new McLaren GT going out. We're going to take that for a test drive right now with Alex Huang. So thanks for setting me up with this, Alex and McLaren. We're going to go see this beautiful car, walk around, drive it, check it out, show you all about it, okay? Come on, let's have a look. McLaren Senna over there, 570, MP412C, Audi V10 Spider, 600 LT, 600 LT with the MSO pack. This one just got sold. I don't know if you all remember this car. We made a video on this a few months ago. It had just come in, and this one has now been sold. It's just kind of one of my favorite cars. I don't have a budget for something like that, but now you look behind me here. There is the Mirai white McLaren GT. Alex is in the driver's seat right there, and I am really looking forward to checking this new GT out. All right, we're out here in Spanish Banks in Vancouver. A little bit chilly today, but at least it's not raining, so we got lucky. Here is this beautiful Mirai white McLaren GT, the Mac GT I like to call it. This is their touring car version of the McLaren 570 series. It has the 4-liter engine, which is from the 720S, but it's detuned, smaller turbos, makes 612 horsepower. Nice power plant. This car is a little bit more comfort oriented, but as you can see, it still looks like an exotic. I think it looks great. You can obviously order these any way you want. So you come down to McLaren Vancouver, talk to Alex Huang here. Hey Alex.
Hey,
there's
man.
Alex.
Hey guys.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Talk to Alex about this. Let's take it for a drive, see what it feels like. So open up the door, you just push this in, lift up, away you go, easy as pie. So we're just going to put it in manual mode. Okay, we're going to go sport on the engine and comfort on the suspension because we're in town. What does race do? Does it make much difference with the
Sharper throttle response.
Hold on, let me put that on then. Take the e-brake off if it was on. Oh wait, I got to put it in gear. Gear selection unavailable because it's not in drive. There we go. A little bit different from the GT3.
Yep, a little bit different.
So the first thing I noticed about driving this, compared with our GT3, is the ride is much more comfortable and compliant. For a supercar, pretty impressive actually. This one is for your long trips, and I can definitely say just driving it for a few minutes, as we did coming out to Spanish Banks from McLaren Vancouver downtown on Burrard Street there, the ride's good. I mean, I could definitely hang in this car for a day. We didn't even talk about all the luggage room. We gotta quickly do that. We'll take a look at the front here. There's a huge front in here. Compared to the 570, the nose of the GT is higher, so you're actually getting, well, of course the headlight is quite a bit different from the 570. Body's based on the 570. More cargo room in this than in the 570, so that's one hallmark. This is aluminum, the fender's aluminum, and so is the door. Obviously the back end is quite a bit different. You know, we were talking about it. Alex thinks this one is kind of Aston-ish, you know, Aston Martin-like. Personally, I kind of see a bit of Aventador shaping in there. You know, it's got that supercar vibe going for it with all the honeycomb and so on. Of course, one of the distinguishing hallmarks of the McLaren GT is the fact that it has the rear luggage room. I'll show you that. Here we go. Voila. Now they say you can get a set of golf clubs in here, as Alex was saying, and they even sell you, I guess it's a golf club bag that goes with the car. So that sounds kind of like a neat option. This appears to be composite, and I was noticing earlier on that this material here is one of these kind of forged composites, forged carbon fiber. I mean, that's what Lamborghini calls it anyway. But anyway, it's not a sheet of a weaved carbon. If you can see that profile in there, it looks, I don't know how you describe it exactly, like a marbly kind of finish or something like that. This is that sort of forged carbon fiber look. I mean, it's pretty shallow here on this side, but I could see you can get stuff. There's a nice shelf behind the seats, which I was using, and it gets a little bit deeper down here. So you can see generally how deep that is. This is all finished in leather, this particular one, but you can also get it in scratch and rip resistant material as well.
Just a little bit over 4,000 revs, it picks up really quickly. It's a nice rush of torque on this car.
Yeah, very nice pickup. Still feels like a relatively high revving engine, which I like personally because it makes it feel more like a sports car, not a big luxury car. Probably one of the most intriguing aspects of this car design is just that it still has a supercar vibe with a little bit more of a lean toward the luxury touring skew on it, and it's really, there's nothing else I can think of that fits the bill, except, you know, maybe some of the at a different price range, of course, some of your different Porsche Carrera models, which are more like sports cars. They don't have the supercar vibe, more of the sports car vibe, but the comfort and luxury definitely going with the adjustable suspensions that all these cars have nowadays, and turbo engines, so you can basically tune the engine and the suspension to the type of driving that you feel like doing that day. I really like that. This is like the next level modern era of performance luxury car, right?
This is a very different approach to a GT car. GT cars, they tend to be less involving to drive, but this one, you still get that involvement of a sports car, yet the luxuries and comfort of a GT car.
We go left here.
Left, yep.
Engine's got a nice sound. It's not obtrusive at all. It's got a nice mellow growl, I would say. That's how I characterized it. You have a cutaway steering wheel. This particular one is a carbon fiber option. This car has a bunch of MSO. That's more McLaren special operations options on it. Lots of carbon fiber accents. It's got the B&W stereo system. It's got a number of options, carbon fiber brakes and stuff like that. But I think in Canadian dollars, the base price on this car was around $250, and then you add a few options, which you don't have to have. I mean, do you really need carbon brakes? I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on that, but I personally would probably not order them on a car that I
MX is an option on the GT, but McLaren figured that majority of the buyers won't opt them for you know, street use anyways.
Yeah.
So they made the steel rotors available as standard on these cars.
Now we're on a kind of a crappy bit of road, so the ride's busy. So definitely you're not driving in a comfort SUV, thank goodness. Let's try a little revs on it. Oh, that picks up really nicely.
Feel that torque?
Yeah, I do.
Yep. Very different torque curve and engine character from the rest of the McLaren lineup.
I can tell you one thing, it accelerates a lot faster than the GT3 already. I can feel that there's a push. That's one thing about that GT3. It feels more like a sports car to me. It's got good power, but not crazy power. But I like it anyways. It's just a neat car, so that doesn't bother me that much. But this is faster. It's got a faster rush here. Nice and linear. Yeah, it feels good.
Very nice power, man.
This is a great car. The thing is, you can actually take a road trip in this car. It does have quite a bit of luggage room, so you could take a good road trip in this car. It's not going to beat the crap out of you every day when you're driving it. I would definitely take this out to a restaurant, or you know, for a cruise on the weekend. Got the electrochromatic roof here, so you know you're not necessarily going to bake on a hot day. You get the nice kind of moonroof feel where you have good visibility, even though you don't have a spider configuration. Still got the nice open airy feel. The windshield is really nice and open. Visibility is good out the rear. So I'm giving this thing thumbs up everywhere. It's like a win-win for me. Yep. So this would be your alternative for a person who doesn't want the big GT Cruiser. They want something that's a bit more nimble. Maybe they're going to take it to a track day once in a while.
This car breaks the mold of the conventional GT car. This goes back to the roots of traditional GT cars, where they take a racing or a more of a sports car based platform and evolve it into more of a grand tour. And traditionally speaking, that's what it was from day one. Good example, Ferrari 250. That was a race car to begin with. Aston, the DB5, that was a two-seater race car to begin with, and then they modified for street use and grand touring use, right? So McLaren had that idea, and then they're going back to the traditional GT car formula. So that's what's going on.
You know, and as with anything in design, you know, you can look at things as a positive or a negative. It depends on what your preference really is. You know, I'm going to defer to McLaren, and I'm just going to say that if you want your supercar as a road trip car, that is a very smart way to go, and I totally agree with their design choices on this. You know, it's not a cheap car, but look at it. You know, you're not going to see yourself coming and going. It doesn't even look like the 570, so you're distinguishing yourself in that way as well, in a good way. I mean, there's no one car for everybody, obviously, but I think this one hangs together really, really well. I want to thank Alex Huang and McLaren Vancouver for a fantastic test drive in the new McLaren GT. Come on down, they're on Burrard Street. They got a couple of cars in stock right now. I really recommend this car for anybody who's looking for ultra high performance and luxury combined together. I think this works. Wow. So thanks again, really appreciate it. Yeah. See you next time, guys.